Hey guys, TNTchicken 99 here, and I am back after a very long time, with, an apology for not having any posts recently, partly just, I've been lazy and haven't gotten around to it. I've been wanting to do more YouTube stuff, just haven't been getting to it, um, uh, yeah, so I've kind of stopped playing Minecraft a little bit, and I started up with this new game kind of recently called Diablo 3, and actually my, um, pardon that, my, face cam's over it, so can't actually show it, but the name of the game is Diablo 3, um, great little game, I've been playing it for a couple months now, um, and so I guess I just wanted to talk about the game a little bit while I played. Just give you guys an example. This is some higher level gameplay. Up here, again, you can't see it. So my character, this character's level is level 58. Um, and so this is some higher gameplay. If I ended up doing this on my channel, and actually let me turn down my game volume a little bit. That's a little loud. If I actually did end up doing this on my channel, I would start up a brand new character, start from the beginning. Well, kind of. I'll get into that more later. So I'd start from the very beginning, and kind of give you guys a walkthrough of what I've learned of how to play this game well, as from my personal experiences of playing. Um, like I said, I've played for quite a while now, and I like to think I'm pretty good. Excuse me, I just have a dry throat. I'll try to hold back the coughs. Um, so, basis of the game, storyline is the world's been taken over by Diablo, or the devil. Diablo is Spanish for devil, for those of you who don't know. So the world's been taken over by this big evil guy named Diablo, and my job as the main character is to kill his minions, kill his little henchmen bosses, and eventually kill him. I've already done the storyline of this game, the campaign mode, on this character here, because I've been playing for a while, like I said. But, yeah. So, the way it works is once you've completed the actual campaign mode, which I have done, you unlock adventure mode, which is this. It's just endless play, and you're given different goals. Once you've entered adventure mode, it's kind of become build up your character until you can increase the game difficulty as high as you can go, which is fun. So right now my character is fairly well built up. I am playing adventure mode, and so I am still working on building him up. So he's not actually very powerful yet, just because I haven't had this character going as long as some of my others. I have some other characters that are playing very high level, high difficulty level. And I will show those off probably after I finish up this run here, which will probably be about 10 minutes or so till I finish this one up. So yeah. Let's see, what should I start with? Okay, I guess I'll just start off with the basics. So, you have your, 6 attacks. You have your main attack, your primary attack, which I'm using now. And, excuse me. So in this character, by the way, this character class is called a Demon Hunter. It's an archer, clearly, as I'm shooting, like, bows and stuff. So, the primary ability, it's called your primary, which is typically your left click on your mouse. Your primary ability is, on this character, called Bolas. And I guess the story idea of it is you shoot out, there's 2 little, metal balls that are attached to a chain, and when they wrap around your enemy that you hit, they trigger an explosive, and then after 2 seconds, the little bombs go off, and they deal considerable amount of damage in a range, in an AoE, area of effect. So that's the way that this ability works. So I shoot it off, and you can see there's like a little red ring around my enemy when I hit them. and then they explode as the red ring gets smaller and smaller around their neck, which is kind of cool. It's a very good game as far as graphics goes. The creators, Blizzard Entertainment, did a very good job at doing the graphics on this game. I approve a lot. And so, by the way, any stuff you're confused about as I'm going through this, I will eventually explain. Like I said, this is more just of a introduction to the game. It's kind of the basic stuff. See how you guys would like the game, if you guys want me to play more. Honestly, I think either way, I'll probably play more of the game and post it to my channel. And just kind of see how it goes. But this is just a startup. See what you guys think at first. There are actually very few YouTubers who do this game consistently. One of the best, one of really the only and best, is a guy named Deadset. I believe he's Swedish, I think. And he's very good at playing the game. He's been playing probably since it came out. So he understands the game very well. He understands all the dynamics. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't understand all the nitty-gritty of the game and how it runs. He does. He does lots of tutorial builds on how to design your character, how to get the proper gear and weaponry and armor as you play for every different class. There are 6 different classes. There is the Demon Hunter, which I'm playing now, the Crusader, who is kind of just a giant tank, very heavy armor, slow attack speeds, medium damage, and slightly a support troop, or support unit, actually. Some of his or her abilities involve healing other characters, other players, if you choose to play multiplayer. So it's definitely a good character. Not one of my favorites, but definitely very good. Then you have the Witch Doctor, and Witch Doctor is a ranged character. Witch Doctor excels at summoning in small little minions and little characters like zombie dogs and little, what are called, fetish sycophants. They're just like little goblins that carry spears. And then a gargantuan zombie. So that one, the Witch Doctor, was my favorite character for a while, and I just kind of got bored with it eventually, because it was a very complex one. There's lots of different things you have to think about. And again, it's also, I guess I would probably describe it as a bit of a support troop as well, support unit, because, there's a couple different ways you can use it, and one of the better ways is as a support. So, it puts down lots of spells that increase your attack speed, increase your damage, and increases both of those as well for every other person in your group, in your party, which can be up to 4 people. And I actually just finished up a session with someone, so that was a 2-player game. Yeah, that's the Witch Doctor. Definitely a very fun character to play with. Very dynamic. My favorite character at the moment is the Monk. And the Monk is a close combat, fast attack speed character. Very, very versatile. My favorite build at the moment is all based on movement. So, all my skills, all my abilities are pretty much solely based on moving quickly through large enemy crowds and dealing lots of damage. It's a very fun build. But apparently, the build I haven't really tried yet with him is a support build. It's entirely support, and apparently you're actually not supposed to use this build if you are playing single player, for the sole reason of it doesn't have any really large amounts of health or damage. So playing by yourself really doesn't do much because it's designed to boost up everyone else in your party, in your group, and then they kind of cover for you while you keep them stronger. I definitely want to try out that ability at some point, but like I said, I kind of need to get a good group going, and I need to design the build to my style of play. So let's see. Next is the Wizard, which I actually just finished playing with. My friend who was playing earlier was using a wizard, and the wizard build is, I mean, kind of what you would expect. It's a wizard, so lots of spells that do high damage and kind of low health and recovery and stuff like that. Health regeneration. Um, but very high damaging, very dynamic in the sense of there's a lot of different things you can do with one set, with one build. Um, so that's definitely a build I'll be showing off at some point because it was another one of my favorites. In case you can't tell, I think my favorite builds, my favorite characters are the ones that are range. So I mean, you can see I can hit anything. It doesn't matter how far away it is. My attacks go all the way out here, so I don't really need to worry about getting right up close and personal with my enemy, which is how a lot of the other builds work. So let's see. That was 5 of them. So okay, and the final class is called the Barbarian, and Barbarian is fun. Not my favorite, but fun. The way the Barbarian works, it's very, very high toughness. So it's a very durable character. It can take a lot of damage and not really care. And at the same time, it actually does a considerable amount of damage, which is kind of surprising because that's not normal for high tanky characters. In most games like this, the high health characters do less damage to kind of balance them out a little bit. But that's not how the Barbarian works. The Barbarian is pretty high on damage and on health, which is very nice. So those are all the classes. And again, I'll go through some of the classes later, probably on a different video. Yeah, definitely on a different video. I'm not going to go through any of the classes today, just because, as I've said for like the 3rd time now, this is just an introductory video. Don't mind me picking my nose. I have an itch. I just got over a cold or a flu or something. I just got over something. Let's see, what's next? Alright, I guess while I'm in town, I will just quickly go over the basic skills on this character and how skills work in general. So, just going to quickly look through my new abilities quickly before I start going over this, just so there's less confusion. Don't mind what I'm doing, I'll explain this in a minute. Alrighty, and there we go. Alright, so the way it works, so you have, this is my skills inventory, so it says it right here, skills. So here's my primary ability, Bolus. And it says it right here. So this is the way I'm pointing at my screen, I think, like you guys are expecting to see me. So if you look, it's going to show up like right down here. If you look right there, it's a description of what that ability does and how much damage, what all its damage values are. So as you can tell, these all are kind of like almost like a link. You can click on them. So if you click on your primary, this is all the different abilities I can use for my primary. So you have Hungering Arrow, Entangling Shot, Bolus, Evasive Fire, and Grenade. So I'm using Bolus. That's my favorite. That's the one I find really well. That works really well. Excuse me. And then, as you level up, you unlock these skill runes. And every ability has a set of skill runes. Some actually have more than others. And so with Bolus, I'm using the one called Imminent Doom. So the runes modify the way the base ability works. So that's the base right there. It does 160 weapon damage as fire, and then an additional 110% weapon damage as fire on the explosion, which I said earlier how they explode. But I'm using Imminent Doom, so you augment the Bola to deal 216% weapon damage compared to the initial 160. This is how it goes up to 216. And the explosion damage is up to 148 damage from the initial 110. And then it also, I think it increases the range. Nope, never mind. This one's 14 yards. This one also is 14 yards. So this deals more damage. But then if you notice at the bottom it says, increases the explosion delay to 2 seconds. So the initial ability, after 1 second, it explodes. So it's a little different. So it slows it down, but it deals more damage, and I find that very nice. So everything does a little different. This first rune that you unlock is increase the explosion radius to 20 yards, so it does a bigger radius, but same amount of damage. This one, it freezes things so it doesn't explode. Instead, it makes things frozen and they move slower. So that's the way skill runes and your abilities work. So here's my secondary ability. So there's only 4 different seconds I can choose from. If you look back here, there's 5 different primaries, but there's only 4 secondaries. And again, each one has their own set of runes. I'm using Chakram with the Twin Chakrams rune. So Chakram does a base, fire swirling Chakram that deals 380% weapon damage. So I'll just show you what that looks like. So that's that right there. It sends out that little blade. And then I'm using Twin Chakrams, which does this. So it sends out 2 blades that mirror each other. And each one does a little bit less damage than the one does from here. But since there's 2 of them and they deal slightly less, they add up to actually deal more. So I think this one actually this one looks fairly cool. It sends out, it spirals out. Not really my favorite. I don't think it's that great. It's that practical, but it does look kind of cool. In most abilities, the color changes depending on what you're using. So this is Serpentine, so it sends out a very slow-moving snake. Again, not my favorite because it just fires in a straight line and it often misses the enemies I'm trying to hit. Here's Boomerang. I think this one's pretty cool. It kind of shoots out and then comes back like a boomerang would. And actually, it's kind of cool. If you look up there, it does a little jump. It does a little spin. Kind of cool. And then Shrike Cloud. So you activate this one, and it puts all these little Shrikens around you, and they just spin around you for, as you see here, it says 10 minutes. So that one's nice, but not my favorite because enemies have to be really close to actually get hit by it. So that one's nice. So then I have one called Hunting. So here I'm using Marked for Death. Mark an enemy. The marked enemy takes 20% additional damage for the next 30 seconds. Very nice. I'm using the rune Grim Reaper. 20% of damage dealt to the marked enemy is also divided evenly among all enemies within 20 yards. Very nice for AoE. I hit the one targeted enemy and everything takes a little bit of damage. Kind of nice just to kill things quicker. As you see, I can't actually click on this one. So if I click on this rune here, it equips it. It's glowing. But I'm clicking. But it's not doing anything because I haven't unlocked it. You see that red 60? That tells me I need to be level 60 to unlock that rune. So I'm right now level 59. Again, you can't see it because my face cam is covering it. Let me see if I can move that. There we go. So I'll move that down there. There we go. So right here you see I'm level 59. Sorry, I'm level 59 right here. So that's where that says. And oh, getting a little choppy there. Sorry about that. It's just the recording catching up. Oh God, really choppy. All right, no big deal. Alrighty. So let's get back here. So I'm just gonna quickly speed through these. I'm not gonna go through all the other abilities that I have. Well, I'm gonna go through the ones I have equipped. I'm not gonna go through the ones that I don't have equipped yet. So here's another hunting one. You can read through those. You can pause the video, whatever. I'm not gonna read them. Just to speed it up. This one's really fun. I have to show you what that one looks like in a second. Rain of Vengeance. That's my number 3. So that's my number 3 on my keyboard. And then here's Sentry. That one's also really fun. All right, so I'll quickly show you Rain of Vengeance right here. So I use it, and it summons this big beast up here, and it just rains grenades down on the ground, and it does a lot of damage. That one's really fun. And then here's my Sentry turrets. So the reason they have this like glowing ring around them is because they actually they slow down any enemy that walks in its radius by 60%, which is really nice. So yeah, those are all my abilities. I'm not going to go over armor right now because it's actually fairly complicated on how it all works. And so I guess I'll actually start up another Rift run. And so now that you know all these different abilities I use, I will try to say them as I'm going through. and narrate how I play. It's actually a fairly complicated build that I'm using. Just because I have so many different things I use. So I'm using my primary right now, getting a little bit of lag, which actually isn't very good. Oh, actually, that's not very good at all. Wait, interesting, yeah. Alright, so if you look down here, my latency is a little, well, late. Not entirely sure why that's happening. I hope that gets fixed in a minute, though, because that's painful. So, alright, let's keep going, find some enemies. So I'm using my regular bolus right now. Now I'm using my chakram to send out damage. My chakram does higher damage than my bolus does. And, ooh, treasure goblin. So these guys, this is a little treasure goblin. They drop a whole bunch of really nice materials if you kill them. They're actually fairly hard to kill. They don't target you. They are marked as an enemy, but like I said, they don't actually target you. And they run away really fast, as you can tell. So I'm just going to put down some of my turrets, and they'll shoot for me. So there we go. Kills him, and you see he dropped a whole bunch of little stuff. So I'll pick all that up. I wish my latency would get fixed. That's really annoying. So this guy here, he's kind of glowing a little bit. So he's a boss. So if you look up on the top of my screen, he has abilities. He has Desecrator, Fast, Electrified, and Mortar. So I don't actually know what Desecrator does. That's one ability I've never really figured out. Mortar, they shoot out little, well, mortar shells. Little just explosive blasts. And I'm forgetting what the other ability was. Alright, so yeah. So here's another one. Illusionist, Arcane, Enchanted, and Teleporter. Alright, so Illusionist. That's what he just did. He splits off into a whole bunch of different copies. Arcane. You see these purple beams? Those are arcane beams. They deal tons of damage. Enchanted. I don't know what Enchanted does. And Teleporter. I feel like that one would be fairly obvious. They teleport around. So there's the Illusionist. They split up again. And the cool thing is when they split up, each one actually has a divided amount of the total health. So it's not like you have now 30 different enemies to kill, all with 100% health. Each one, instead, so maybe you have one enemy with 100% health, and it splits off into 4 enemies. Each one has 25% health and does 25% damage. So it's just more enemies to deal with. It's not actually more damage or health to deal with, which is nice. I'm glad they did it that way. So going through using my chakrams to deal high damage, using my vault ability, and it leaves a trail of fire behind. If you read it earlier, you might want to go back. If you didn't read some of the abilities, I'd suggest you skip back in the video to when I was going over my abilities so you actually know what these are. So my vault, what it does is it leaves a trail of fire behind that deals a little bit of damage. Just a little bit of passive damage, nice to have. So there I dropped my Rain of Vengeance, which is that little bat creature, just to deal some extra damage. I'm going to use my Marked for Death, which increases the damage taken by the marked creature by 20%. Kill it off a little quicker. So now I just kind of hit it until it goes away. I don't really want to waste my my sentries on it because it was so close to being dead. Pick up these, increase. So right now I'm doing what's called a Nephilim Rift Run. So I have as long as I want, but I have to fill up this bar here. And if you watch it as I kill enemies, it slowly fills up. So every enemy I kill gives a little bit more, but if you notice, it's not like one enemy equals 1%. That'd be too easy. I think it's like 10 enemies is 1%, so you need to kill a lot of things to actually get to move. So right now I'm at 29%, up 30%, so it's moving along. And then whenever you kill a boss, which is what these guys are here, they drop those little kind of death skull orbs. And if you pick those up, I think each orb, like these. So right now, let's just check. Right now I'm at 32%. I'm going to pick up 1 orb, 2 orbs, now up to 34%. Okay, so yeah, each orb counts for 1%, which is nice. Just speeds it up a little bit. So every time you enter a Nephilim Rift Run, it's a random dungeon. Every time you go through one of those stairways, the gateways, it brings you to a new random dungeon. So they don't the dungeons really don't matter. I mean, they kind of do, because I have personal preference. I prefer this form of dungeon, where it's a closed space, unlike the dungeon at the beginning of the video, which was just a big open space. I don't like the big open dungeons because enemies can sneak up on you and sinking in my chair. In the big open dungeons, enemies can sneak up on you, which for obvious reasons isn't very good. So going through, we're killing stuff. Got my vault again, speed through, just to get a little bit of movement going. Deal a little bit extra damage, start hurting that guy a bit. So the vault, again, if you look back, it does fire damage over 3 seconds, I think. So it lights the enemy on fire, and then over the course of 3 seconds, they take damage, which is nice. It just gives them a little bit of extra passive damage that they take, as I try to kill them myself with my own personal damage. So this is a pool of reflection here, this little yellow thing. It increases your experience, so you get 25% more experience from killing things. And so right down here, here's your experience bar, right above your skill bar. And as you can see, I'm almost level 60, actually. I'm very close, which is great. I have a goal to complete to get to level 60. I'm doing a thing called a season, and when you're doing seasons, you're given special goals that you have to complete before the season's over, which fairly easy. The season lasts, I think, 3 months, so more than enough time to complete all the different tasks. So again, the one I'm trying to take out now is I want to get to level 60, and then once I get to level 60, I have 2 other tasks, which are just to go off and kill 2 different guys. But you have to kill them once you're past level 60. Or 60 or past. 60 or higher, excuse me. I can't point to it right now, but down in the bottom, it's down to the left of my bar of skills, so right here, this is my health. And as you can see, I mean, it bounces around a good amount, but I have enough health recovery where it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, this is not good. So, this boss I'm facing, if you notice, he has the ability Frozen. And Frozen is a really nasty ability because, as the name would suggest, it freezes you in place. And when you're frozen, you can't actually use any abilities, nor can you move. Which, for obvious reasons, is not very good. Especially in a game like this, where every half a second matters. So, when I see those frozen, I try to make sure that I use everything in my power to not get frozen. Again, for obvious reasons. Alright, let's keep going through. I'm almost done with this rift run. I have 73% done. So that's what, 23% left? Yeah, 23% left. Wait, 26%. Excuse me. Here's another big boss. These ones are actually really annoying because they deal medium damage, but they have a ton of health, and they actually, when they start getting low on health, they curl up into a little ball. Maybe this guy will do it. Nope. They curl up into a little ball, and they put a shield around themselves. So I think they take 80% less damage, which is really annoying, because then they just take forever to kill. And unless they're a boss, I'll actually just leave them behind and not worry about them, because they're really slow. They deal low damage. Or, sorry, medium damage, so I'm not really all that concerned about them catching up and killing me. Headset's getting a little uncomfortable. And, oh, wow, okay, this video's getting a little long. I'm gonna have to cut it off here in a minute. So let's finish up this rift, and then I guess I'll have to cut the video here. But let's not worry about that just yet. Let's finish up this rift first, shall we? Yeah. So, got a staircase right here, but I'm not going to go through it until after I've killed off this guy. Yes! Level 60. Awesome. That's what I've been waiting for. So if you look here, these are all my different quests I have to build, or I have to do for the season journey here. So I just completed this one here, Hero of Sanctuary, reach level 60. By the way, the world that you're in, it's right here. This is Sanctuary. This is the map of Sanctuary. So there's 5 different towns you can visit. So Hero of Sanctuary, it just means that you're advancing. You're getting higher up. So the way it works is you can get to a maximum of level 70, and then once you hit level 70, you start getting what's called Paragon points. And Paragon points, I will show those off as soon as I finish off this rift. Paragon points, you use them to kind of augment yourself, to slowly increase different aspects. And again, it's very slowly increased. So I will show that off as soon as I finish up here, provided I don't die. Wow, okay. So let's kill off these guys, use a dash, and oh, alright, so I got frozen there. Doesn't really matter though, because nothing was attacking me, which is good. So something that happens, as soon as you finish off that bar, if you notice, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, you finish off the bar and then the rift is over. You go back to town, you're done. But no, when you actually finish off the bar, it, not frozen again. It summons in this guy. And you see he's got a really big fancy name, Rift Guardian. It says it right there. Oh. So that's the Rift Guardian. And you see him up on the map. He's got this big kind of scary skull image. These guys have a lot of health and they deal a lot of damage. So they're the big goals to kill at the end of every rift run. So there we go. He's gone. And they actually typically drop a lot of items. As you get into harder difficulties, you get more and more better items. If you look up top up here, that way, let's point up here. Right here it says hard. So my difficulty is hard. So that's actually really low difficulty. It goes normal, hard, expert, master. And then once you get past master, you start entering the difficulty called Torment. And Torment is, it starts getting really difficult at Torment. And Torment scales up. So you have Torment 1, Torment 2, Torment 3, all the way up to Torment 10. My current best character, which is a monk, who I actually will probably show off in the next video. My monk can handle up to about Torment 7, which is fairly high. And I'm proud of the fact that he's up that well. Oh, oops, I just accidentally got rid of some items I was planning on keeping. Whatever. So let's look at the new items, new abilities I got. I unlocked the thing from Grenade. Cold Grenade. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to stick with my Imminent Doom on Bolus. March for Death. Death Toll. Attackers heal for up to 3% of their maximum life when damaging the marked enemy. No, I think I like Grim Reaper. Actually, I'll try Death Toll. I'll see how it goes. Rain of Vengeance. Flying Strike. This is one I think I've been looking forward to. Call a group of 8 Shadow Beasts to plummet from the sky at a targeted location, dealing 3,800% total weapon damage as cold over 5 seconds. Oh, and freezing enemies for 2 seconds. I think that's actually a really nice one. So I'll try out that one. I'll demonstrate it up here in a second. Guardian Turret. This one is really nice. The turret also creates a shield that reduces damage taken by allies by 25%. So if you look, if I am standing in this shield, this bubble here, any of these bubbles actually, I take 25% less damage, which is really nice. And so I can have up to 5 turrets going at once. So I can just build up this big area, and right now I take 25% less damage no matter where I walk as long as I'm within this area. And right here it says sentry turrets summoned. So that tells me I have 5 turrets summoned. And each one lasts a minute or 60 seconds. So this one is going to disappear shortly, or this one? I don't know. The first one I summoned in is going to disappear very shortly. So let's see. Ooh, I got a new passive ability called Leech. And wow, I'm actually going to use that ability. I'm going to remove Sharpshooter and use Leech. That seems like a very nice ability to have. And actually, I'm surprised the things haven't gone away yet. There they are. So I'll show off the Rain of Vengeance one. There it is. So it summons in those 8 different beasts to come and destroy the ground and make everyone else eat shit. So that's a fun little ability. So let's see. What do I want to do before I hop off? I will go through some of my armor. And so what I'm doing now is I'm putting gems in my armor, which augments it and makes it better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some diamonds in my chest plate. And diamonds, star diamond. If you look right here, not used to the camera going this way. If you look right up here, it will show. There you go. Look right up this way. It'll show all the different things it does. So if you put it into a weapon, so like this gem here is put into a weapon. So weapon, increased damage against elites, and elites are bosses. They're the big glowy guys I said about earlier. So it increases your damage against elites. That one's actually a fairly nice one, but not really the best you can put in. If excuse me, if you put a diamond into a helmet or a helm, reduces cooldown of all skills by 10%. Very nice. Not really necessary for me. And then other, which is the one which is anything other than a weapon or a helmet, is plus 58 resistance to all elements. That's what I'm going to do. So resistance to all elements is calculated into your toughness, and your toughness is actually how much life you have and like how much damage reduction you get when enemies are attacking you. So I'm going to, sorry, excuse me. So I'm going to put this in here. So actually first, right now I have about 252,000 toughness. So I'm going to put one gem in. Now I have 289,000 toughness. Put the second one in. Now I have 325,000 toughness. Big difference. I'm also going to put a new one into my quiver right here. I'm going to put an emerald in here. So what the emerald does, critical hit damage increased by 100%. Nice. Best for weapons. Helmet, plus 31% extra gold. Very nice if you need more money. And other, plus 58 dexterity. So dexterity, each different character build uses either strength, dexterity, or intelligence. So the Demon Hunter class uses dexterity. And if you read through that, so also monks also use dexterity. Increase all damage for demon hunters and monks by X. So X is how much dexterity you have. So if you notice, I'm increasing my damage by 2,400%. That's a lot of damage increase. And then it also increases your armor. So each thing increases your armor, but the primary attribute for each character is best used to increase your damage. So I'm going to put this in here. So right now my damage is at 22,300. Put that in there. Goes up to 22,800. So a little bit of an improvement. Nothing major. I'm going to pull those out of my pants. And I think I'm actually going to put more diamonds in there. Just to get a little bit of that extra health. I'm not really comfortable with how much my health is changing during combat. So actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'll put one diamond right now. 322,000. Put that in. Now I'm up to 358,000. Put in the star emerald. Now I'm up to, that got me a little bit more damage. Not much, very little. But hey, it's all good. Every little bit counts, right? So I'm going to put my items back away, sort things out a little bit. So I think I'm actually going to have to end this off here. Okay, yeah, this video has been going for about 40 minutes now. So I'm actually going to end this off here. I'm probably going to go record another session with the monk. So, yeah, I'm going to get that recorded. And I will see you all later. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'm not needy. Please give me feedback. Nothing rude, but, constructive criticism. What you like, what you don't like, what I should change. I know there's going to be a lot of things that I need to work on, which I get. Everyone has their flaws. So yeah, constructive criticism. That'd be great. Awesome. So I will talk with you all later. Well, I won't talk with you, but I will see you all later. Have a great